Good afternoon, everyone. Here at Six Flags Darien Lake. We're finally here. So, we were able to get in no problem with our Carowinds Gold Pass with all park passport season pass. We used it with Apple Wallet and we got immediately in, no problem, so we're in. So, for me, this is technically going to be my second Six Flags park. But it will feel like the first because I went there when I was one, so I don't remember much. But this will be very interesting to see how a Six Flags park works, especially now in this new Six Flags thing. So it'll be very interesting to see. We're gonna head straight for Ride of Steel to get it out and done for the day. So let's go in. Ride of Steel. It was mid. I see why people say these are very like mid. I feel like the only elements that did stuff were the first drop. That actually did have good airtime, but I feel like most of the rest had little to no airtime, not even floater airtime, not much. I like the train, but there's just nothing. During that first turn after the drop, I was on the left side. I extended my hand and I hit the grass, so don't do that. With that, the helix do nothing. They're way too big that they do nothing. And, there's just no forces to this ride. So I feel like this was a little bit of a disappointment. Airtime hills are just fine. So, like I said, not much airtime. So, I wish they, maybe some profiling. I don't know what it is, but it's just not, it's not where I could see this hypercoaster being. It doesn't be any of the B&M hypers. So we were able to get on Predator back row. So I've heard bad things about it being like rough, but it's definitely really smooth, especially with that pre-cut track. Really good smooth ride. Only problem is it does nothing, and I think it's the profile. Like, it's the same thing. Pre-cut track can make a ride smooth. It cannot fix what a ride is missing. And this needs a lot of profile retracts if it wants to give airtime or anything. And I got stapled, but still, I just felt no airtime, no forces. It really did nothing. It's just a mid-wood coaster. It's better than Hurler. It's better than a lot of rough wooden coasters I've done, but it's still like not better than like Grizzly at Kings Dominion. That's still a better ride. No one else wants to do it, so I'm just gonna have to go on the boomerang and that's called boomerang. Just get on it myself, get the cred, and get out of there. So I got on the boomerang, just me, alone. No one else wanted to come. I wanted to say really quickly, do any put in the comments, are those the original trains? Because it has like those restraints that do like kind of hit your ear. It's not like the new trains. It was fine. I felt no headbanging. It was completely fine. I feel like the biggest problem is with this is for some reason it's not running as intense as like other boomerangs. I've only been on Flying Cobras at Carowinds so far, and that one is, I feel like, much more intense, and I don't know why this one isn't as intense. And also, props to that team, because even though there's like one train, they're like dispatching that like regularly compared to the rest of these that can run two trains, but they're only running one, yet they're still going slower than this. So either that's props to the boomerang team, or that's bad news for everyone else. So I want to show this is something very different. I actually did notice that this whole park feels very not run down, just not well maintained. Like all this is just concrete, where in the Cedar Fair parks there's usually only one section of the park that's concrete and the rest is not. Like just right there it just ends the park. The lake has pretty good views, but I feel like this is just weird where it just ends and it's like becomes streets and stuff. So but this cool view is really cool. We gotta get on Viper later, so we'll see. So I'm gonna show this. Is one of the many closed rides we have here at Six Flags Darien Lake. Lasso, their zipper basically, is closed. This is the one of many rides that are closed. I'll show you more later, but there's so many rides here that are just closed. Like they just say closed for the season for no reason. Everything else has either one train, so yeah, not the best here. We're going to Viper because there's not much else to do, so let's just go to Viper. Actually, looking at the scenery of this thing, it looks really, really cool how they put it in with the scenery. Like right here, the corkscrew goes like facing right below the grass. And coming in, it looks really, really nice. So it looks kind of promising, but it's probably gonna be a bad coaster. But let's see. So getting on Viper, I would say it's actually one of the better aero loopers. So it's definitely much smoother. I feel like there's not much head sink if you keep your head forward. And the inversions are pretty cool. I would say second in the park so far. There's not much else that I would put second. But second, still solid of those aero loopers. I still don't think it beats my favorite aero looper, which is Demon. But still, good ride. We're going on our first Larson loop. Rolling Thunder, which will be really cool because we've never been on one. Of course, there's these everyone in the Six Flags Park, and yes, I will not put this on my credit count. I am not those weirdos who will count this as a credit. This is not a credit, guys. Do not put this on the credit list. Rolling Thunder. Why did Six Flags clone these? It's not a good flat ride. Like the forces are fine, but there's barely any forces. It's just like it just goes back and forth. We just drag the ride lane on. Like Tristan, just like, please get me off. I'm like bored now. So I feel like they probably only cloned it just because Six Flags like it's cheap. So after that, I see why did they clone it, but. Mid-flat ride, so probably never gonna do that again. A 45-minute line for freaking Mind the Racer of Vekoma SLC, and it wasn't as bad as Flight Deck. For being the second SLC, this one is much better. Because Flight Deck has the old train, so it's like Hey, they should move the train from Six Flags America, and they should move them to Canada's Wonderland. Because if you're not gonna take the ride down, please at least put new trains because that ride needs it. But this was not as bad. I feel like the worst part here would definitely be the shuttle it has, but because it has best, it's not as bad, the shake. It's just that it's always shuddering, so it's just shudder. So not as bad as others, but still not good. I thought Mind Eraser would have been the last coaster for the day, but I just saw a moto coaster running. So let's go over there and check. Hopefully it's open to get on it, and it would be probably last coaster of the day. So I was able to get on. We were able to get on a motor coaster, and good launch. The seating setup is very weird. It definitely hits you at the back really intensely. So, but it was still a good ride. I'd say it's fine. It doesn't impress me. I think it may either be second or third best in the park. Everything else kind of suck. I don't really know where this ranks. So I'm gonna go check out the Starfly now. Because it would be my first Starfly, so I'm probably gonna check that out. So, got on their Starflyer. I don't know how tall it is, probably 150. So to me, these are very comparable to Windseekers because Windseekers were everywhere in the Cedar Fair chain. Starflyers are everywhere in the Six Flags chain. I think I like the Windseekers better. Although these are usually much more like thrilling, they actually like spin much faster. I still would rather prefer a Windseeker than this because a Windseeker I feel like has more time up there in the views. It's much taller. Not like Starflies where yes, there are some that are taller than the Windseekers. There are some that are 400 feet tall. But a lot of them are also 150 something feet, 200 feet. While all of the Windseekers are 300 feet. So I would say I prefer the Windseekers. And but still, good views. You can definitely see that this park is really, really small. They have almost 1,000 acres. I feel like a lot of it is going to the resort or the campgrounds. Not a lot of it, I feel like, is going to the park. And like, I haven't been to the water park, but looking at the water park is also really small. So this whole park just feels really small. So yeah, good views from the top there. So that ends our day here at Six Flags Darien Lake. As soon as we started heading out, it has started pouring now. So thank goodness we're leaving because supposedly it's rain for the next few hours. We got done with the park earlier than we expected. For me, my first Six Flags parks, there's some things I definitely see that people complain about. I'm not sure. I've heard that this is one of the weaker parks, but looking in, like just seeing like how the park is being run, like the areas for the park, all the lands, it's like you can tell it's very like low budget compared to like a Cedar Fair park. Like going to Canada's Wonderland and looking at like the Yukon Striker area, or going to Carowinds, Aeronautical Landing, or Blue Ridge Junction. All those areas I feel like have a theme here. Here, everything is just scrambled. Here, everything is just placed on the blacktop. It's very just put it where you can. And the park is really small. Like, it's tiny. We got everything done in less than 4 hours. All the coasters done. We were able to get all the six that we could ride because Tantrum so far has been closed all of 2025. And I can't get on the kids coaster, so best coaster for sure is probably Superman, but it's still also meh. And best ride and second best would probably be the motor coaster, and third probably Viper. I'd say probably like that, or the Viper and motor coaster switch. But yeah, the coasters here I would say are nothing really like fantastic. Superman I wouldn't even say is that impressive. I do am a little sad that we missed Tantrum, but all the coasters here are just fine. I don't see myself coming back to this park for a while, and I actually see this park getting sold off. I don't really see the future for this park in the chain. I just see this leaving. I don't really see why a chain, the new Six Flags City, all these parks would want to keep. The only reason is I could see it's because they own the hotel, but still I just don't see it. Looking in, we saw the hotel and there's no cars there, so I just don't see the value in keeping the park. So I think it would just, I don't see this staying for any longer. I think it would become like a Six Flags America situation. And I can see this getting sold off to, because they're not fully on the park, but I can see this being sold off to another operator or becoming an independent park. The park was just, I think it was definitely the weakest of the parks. Going from Canada's Wonderland, Cedar Point, Kings Island, to going now to Six Flags Darien Lake. It's also in the middle of nowhere. Maybe that's also why attendance was down. Everything was all on one train, so I just don't see the point of keeping this park, and I don't really see. If you're planning on visiting, or if you're thinking about it, I would definitely say there's nothing much special here, unless you just want to get the credits. I would say there's nothing much special here that I would say you need to come to Six Flags Darien Lake to do. I would just skip this park, and I don't ever see myself returning to it for a long time, unless you got something like crazy brand new, like a Vekoma tail coaster. Sure, I'll go. Crazy Vekoma launch, sure. But the way it is now, I won't be back for a while. But still, we had a very successful day. So thank you so much for watching. It was so cool if you gave us a like and subscribe. Next vlog coming up will be from Six Flags New England. So there, hopefully I will hit my 100 credit. I'm currently at 95 credits, so hopefully by then I'll hit 100. So thank you so much for watching, and keep chilling with the coaster dude. Coming up next, we're going to Six Flags New England, and they have some interesting hours. They are open from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll start off with another Superman with one train ops, and then getting on a boomerang. Reminds you of anything? After that, we'll get on my supposed 100 coaster, Wicked Cyclone. I just acquired my 100 credit, and then we'll get on 3 kiddie rides and end our day with running to get merch before the store closes. But the stores here actually close exactly at 4 o'clock. Push your U-brake down, because we still have many more hills before we hit the brakes.